Everyone in the market right now is watching one company in the AI race, Nvidia. And for good reason. They control over 90% of the AI data center GPU market. But here's the thing most investors might be missing. The biggest AI opportunity might not be the leader, but the challenger. And in this video, I'm going to break down why Nvidia is still dominating, why AMD could quietly gain market share, and the secret semiconductor company almost nobody talks about that could benefit massively from AI. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll look at why Nvidia is still the king of AI chips. Second, we'll break down why AMD is becoming a serious challenger in the data center space. And finally, I'll show you one more company that could quietly dominate the parts of AI infrastructure market. So before we get started, this is not financial advice. I'm sharing my perspective for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before making any investment decision. For those who are new here, it's your boy Dre, your investing engineer. And here at Money Mind Resources, we focus on helping people engineer wealth into their portfolios. We do that through 4 pillars: wealth building by stocks, ETFs, and long-term investing, income expansion with careers, AI, and skill leverage, ownership when we talk about real estate businesses and assets, and money mindset and systems, where we talk about discipline, psychology, and strategy. If this breakdown adds value, help me get this video to 100 likes. That helps the algorithm push this content to more serious investors. And if we hit 100 likes, I'll drop another video breaking down my next option play. My last option play I shared is already up 20% in 1 week. So make sure you check that video out after this one. Now, let's start with Nvidia. Nvidia is currently the world leader in AI computing. The company made the name GPU popular. That means graphics processing unit. Originally, GPUs were used for gaming and computer graphics. But over time, Nvidia realized these chips were extremely powerful for parallel computing, which made them perfect for artificial intelligence. Today, Nvidia's chips power things like AI training, data centers, high-performance computing, virtual reality, and the numbers show just how dominant they are. In their most recent fiscal quarter, Nvidia generated $68 billion in revenue in just 3 months. That's 73% growth year over year, which is absolutely massive for a company that size. That growth was driven largely by AI data center demand, where Nvidia controls over 90% of the GPU market. So make no mistake, Nvidia is still the dominant player in AI. But here's where the market psychology gets interesting. Even though Nvidia keeps reporting incredible earnings, the stock has actually fallen after several recent earning reports. That doesn't make much sense. Why? Because investors now expect perfection. When a company becomes this dominant, the market starts pricing in flawless execution. So even great results can disappoint investors if expectations were even higher. That's why you sometimes see Nvidia drop after its earnings, even when the business itself is still performing extremely well. And when a stock starts to fall on good news, be aware. Now this brings us to the challenger, AMD, my company. AMD has quietly been building serious momentum in the AI and data center space. The company's newest AI accelerators, including the MI300 series chips, are designed specifically to compete with Nvidia's GPUs for AI workloads. And these chips are already gaining attention from hyperscaler companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, OpenAI, Tesla. These companies are spending hundreds of billions of dollars building AI infrastructure, and they don't want to rely on only one supplier. So what AMD is doing right now is slowly building design wins. A design win basically means a customer has chosen your chip to be used in their system, and those design wins eventually turn into future revenue. At AMD's Analyst Day, one metric really stood out to me. design win growth of 21% per year. That's extremely important. Design wins today mean future data center demand tomorrow. AMD is also gaining ground on their EPYC server processors and expanding their AI ecosystem with the BROADCOM software platform, which is rival to Nvidia's CUDA. And on the consumer side, their Ryzen processors have already proven they compete with Intel in the CPU market, basically taking over the majority of shares there. So when you look at the bigger picture, this is not about Nvidia collapsing. No, I'm not crazy. This is about AI market being so massive that multiple winners can exist. And AMD could be one of the biggest beneficiaries. Which is exactly why last year I said AMD could outperform Nvidia. And in 2025, that's exactly what happened. Now, if you stay with me for one more minute, I'm going to show you the one semiconductor company that almost nobody talks about, but could benefit massively from the entire AI build-out. Now, that company is BROADCOM. Now, BROADCOM doesn't get as much attention as Nvidia or AMD, but the company plays a critical role in the AI infrastructure ecosystem. BROADCOM designs and supplies semiconductor components using things like networking chips, custom AI processors, data center connectivity, and their business is growing extremely fast. Their semiconductor revenue recently grew 35% year over year, and their AI-related revenue also surged 74%. But what makes BROADCOM interesting is they're not just a semiconductor company. They also generate billions from infrastructure software. Keyword, software. Which this gives them a very stable business model. So let's simplify it. That's what we do at Money My Resources. In simple terms, Nvidia builds the engine. AMD is building competing engines. But BROADCOM helps build the roads these engines run on. And that's why they could quietly become one of the biggest beneficiaries of the AI boom. See, the biggest mistake investors make is focusing only on one of the winners or the winner of today, instead of identifying the winners of tomorrow. The AI revolution is not a single company story. No, that's a joke. It's an entire ecosystem, and investors who understand that early are the ones who position themselves for the biggest opportunities. I'm curious, do you think Nvidia continues to dominate the AI market, or do companies like AMD start taking meaningful market share over time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want deeper breakdowns like this every week, including market rotations, stock opportunities, and option plays, you can join Money Man Resources. Spots are limited. The link is in the description.